Good evening.
Good
This is
evening.
Dr. This is Dr. Srilatha Suresh from Bangalore, and in this platform called Odyssey, the journey of life, we are here with a very prominent and eminent scholar, H.S. Ananathanarayana, who is with us. A warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you.
And he's really a legend, and we all are, even the viewers are very eager to know more about you and about you have written so many books, so many translations, so many researches he has done. We want to know more about you, sir. And now I don't want to say more about it. Only one thing is, we have got a very good response about this Odyssey, the journey of life. Now, I don't want to introduce Mr. H.S. Ananathanarayana. I want him to tell about himself. So now the platform is yours, sir. Please, a warm welcome to you, sir.
I am Dr.Narayana,
Yes, sir.
born in 1931 in
Okay.
Halli, Mysore, a village
Okay.
in Payasuru Taluk, Hassan district of Karnataka. My primary and lower secondary education was in the village.
Okay.
Then I moved to Shimoga for higher secondary education and pre-university studies.
Okay, sir.
There, with my elder brother, who was a Vedic teacher, I also studied our ancient lore, that is Vedic mantras,
Okay.
for 5 years under him. Later, I pursued my honors BA in Sanskrit and MA in Sanskrit at Maharaja's College, Mysore, University of Mysore. I was throughout a merit scholarship holder, and in MA I stood first in first. So secured 2 gold medals and a cash prize.
Wow.
Later in 1959,
Yes.
I went to United States of America and to pursue my PhD studies at the University of Texas, Austin, under the able guidance of Professor Winfred P. Lehman, who was
On
a
which subject,
who was
sir?
a leading Indo-Europeanist.
Which subject, sir?
I worked on intonation contours of Veda. It was titled Studies in the Language of Taittiriya Brahmana, which is an accented text. So I posited 2 intonation contours, a normal contour and an emphatic contour. In the normal contour, the verb is final. In the emphatic, it moves to the first position. That was a very important work, which was praised by many scholars. During my stay in Mysore,
Okay.
I also studied Hindi, classes run by Bharat Hindi Prachar Sabha. I completed Rashtrabhasha Praveen and was recognized a Pracharak. And for several years, I did teaching in Hindi at Mysore. Later, I also continued this spreading of Hindi and teaching of Hindi
Yeah.
while in Texas
Oh,
for pursuing PhD. I was responsible for starting a Center for South Asian Studies in which Telugu and Hindi were taught,
okay.
and I prepared the person to start the program, and I trained him also. I also taught a semester course in Hindi at Wisconsin and a Peace Corps program at Urbana, Illinois.
Hmm.
The Peace Corps program people later came to Hyderabad to work there. And I worked for 1 year in Chicago, where there also I taught Hindi
Okay.
and prepared a backup reader there for the use of beginners
Mhm.
in that dialect.
Okay.
After getting PhD in 62,
Okay.
I
1962.
came back to India and joined Osmania University
Hyderabad.
as a lecturer. But soon I got positions higher up, like I became reader, professor of historical linguistics. There were several eminent linguists involved in my linguistic training program. I will name only some of them.
Sure, sir.
There was one Eli Fisher Jorgensen, an international authority in politics from Denmark. There was Alf Sommerfeld from Norway. There was Wolfgang Lentz from Germany. W.S. Allen from Cambridge, UK. And several scholars in USA like Eric Ham, Murray Emino, Jan Campbell, Hans Guterbach, Werner Winter, and Bernard Bloch, and my own guide, Winfred Lehman.
Okay.
I did teach Sanskrit for 5 years in the University of Mysore, where I got my MA. Several of the students in 4 batches I taught there became heads of departments in various colleges in Bangalore. Similarly, I taught Sanskrit to students of Kannada BA honors course, and some of them are very good students and they are in good positions like A.R. Mitra, Lakshmi Narayana, Purnachandra Tejasvi. These are all my students in that class. After getting my PhD, I returned to Usmania, which was my working place for 30 years. Mainly, I taught there. I taught historical linguistics,
Mhm.
Indo-Aryan studies, lexicography, typology,
Mhm.
field methods, Indian grammatical theories, and structure of Sanskrit.
Yes.
I raised there from position to position in the positions available for their teacher. I was mainly responsible for
Oh, great.
securing a UGC Advanced Center for Usmania along with my senior Bakrishnamurthy. And I was its director, first director of Advanced Center.
Mm-hmm.
Under that program, we used to invite foreign scholars for a period of 1 month to 3 months. They would stay in Usmania and give lectures.
Okay.
We also encouraged our staff to undertake field methods, go to the field and collect data from unknown languages. We also arranged annual conferences.
Mm-hmm.
We published these proceedings as a volume later on. And during my period there, we introduced MPhil as a first research degree. Earlier, after MA, they would just go to
PhD.
PhD without
Yeah.
any knowledge of research. So we introduced an MPhil course, the first degree, where we had two papers like the research methodology
Yeah.
and broad field. I was dean of faculty of arts, under which some 10 to 12 language departments were there. So we encouraged the language teachers like Kannada teacher, Telugu teacher, Tamil teacher to do at least a diploma course in linguistics so that they can teach the language better. The diploma course was introduced for their sake. I I had several awards
Yes.
like
We want to know that.
National Lecturer of UGC for 2 periods. Normally, it is given for 1 year.
Only 1 year.
I
Yes.
was the fortunate one to have 2 terms. Similarly, I was the only one so far who has been president of both Linguistic Society of India as
Okay.
well as Dravidian Linguistics Association. These two these two
Okay.
associations in India, of which I was president at the same time.
Very good.
I was also felicitated in many linguistic conferences
Yes.
and at various departments of linguistics. I, I was on several programs like UGC visiting scholar in various universities. I was also honored by Vishwa Samskrita Pratisthana as a scholar in Sanskrit. I was member of managing committee of Deccan College, which is a which is a I was also honored by Asian Society only 2 years ago.
Yeah.
They awarded me Professor S.K. Chatterjee Memorial Lectureship, which is
It's a
a
great
very
award.
great
Honorable award.
honor because the Asiatic Society is a very old institution. I have many papers,
Okay.
more than 100 papers, both in English as well as Kannada.
Yeah.
I write to not only professional linguistic journals
Mhm.
but also research journals in Kannada. There are two research journals here, Kannada Sahitya Parishat Patrike and
Mhm.
Karnataka Lochana. Both of them publish my papers.
Okay.
Only recently I took up Nagavarma's Karnataka Bhasha Bhushana of 12th century
Oh,
AD,
Hale Kannada. It's a Hale Kannada.
Halegannada.
Yeah.
So I just completed giving a commentary of the sutras in Kannada. Nagavarma has written Kannada grammar in Sanskrit sutra style,
Mm.
following Panini,
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
and that was not available even to scholars because many Kannada professors do not know Sanskrit. I made it available. I was the first Indian scholar to acquaint Western linguists in modern times about the Panini's Karaka system.
Okay. And
And following that, many others worked in different languages using this Karaka model. My own student worked in Hindi Karaka system, and
okay.
another person worked on Oriya Karaka system.
What is this Karaka system? What is this Karaka system?
You see,
It's,
Panini,
Mhm.
who lived in 5th century BC, has written a Sanskrit grammar
Okay.
in 4,000 sutras.
Mm-hmm.
There, that is the world's earliest descriptive grammar, you can say, for Sanskrit. And Panini's Karaka system talks of syntax
Okay.
like like the agent, target,
Uh-huh.
object,
Okay.
source, locus,
Oh,
like that.
okay. Okay.
And and almost 2,500 years ago, he wrote such a wonderful, complete descriptive grammar in sutra style for Sanskrit.
Okay.
Whereas even today, although more than 100, 200 scholars are working in English they don't have a full grammar of this type.
Yes.
After
Yes.
Karaka system was known to them, many people followed this. Similarly, there was another scholar in 12th century AD, Hemachandra, who produced a Prakrit grammar.
Okay.
He talks of sound changes from Sanskrit to Prakrit. This is in 12th century AD. And in modern linguistics, they talk of sound changes only in 20th century. So although Indians have done such a great work like Panini and Hemachandra, Hemachandra is not even mentioned in the history of linguistics. So I have worked both in Sanskrit, Prakrit, grammatical studies,
Okay.
and especially in the Vedic very much. As I told you, my thesis was on Vedas, setting up intonation contours. I also did a book on word forms in Taittiriya Brahmana, the first of its kind, recording all the word forms available in a particular text. I also went again to Texas as a postdoctoral fellow. When I was on the Rigvedic meter, I postulated there that the octosyllabic Gayatri meter is the basic meter from
Okay.
which the longer meters like Trishtup and Jagati have derived. That is another important work that I have done. Even after retirement, I have not retired.
I think you have not retired. You are still
I,
busy.
I am invited to various places.
Yes.
I worked for about 3 months in Kanpur, 3 months in University of Hyderabad on their NLP program. NLP program using Panini's method. I was expert in Sanskrit for them at that time. Similarly, I went to Delhi for a semester to give course in historical linguistics. And recently, I reviewed historical linguistics material produced by somebody for e-Pathshala. This is
Okay.
UGC's work.
You have done quite a lot of research work and now you have updated with e-Pathshala also, sir.
But I have at various junctures. I have worked both in Indo-Aryan and Dravidian, and have shown several instances of merging, convergence, and I have pointed out to younger linguists our rich heritage.
Yes.
Indian tradition is very
Rich.
old,
Yes.
but very fertile. So I have been telling my students, and wherever I go, I have been advocating that they should study our scriptures, our shastras,
Yes.
where so much information is hidden.
Yes.
I was responsible to start a departmental journal, Usmania Papers in Linguistics,
Okay.
which regularly comes once a year and publishes many research papers.
Okay. Okay.
And it is the only journal in India which has survived. Many others which were started have died.
But why do you think so? The scriptures, it's still rich and it's flourished. And
Huh?
why still it is very few people prefer it? What is your opinion about that? Why people are not so interested in scriptures? What is your opinion about it?
See, I have, as I just told you, I have been advocating wherever I go
Yeah.
in my lectures as well as in my writings that Indian linguistics is very ancient. Of
Yes.
course, we didn't use the term linguistics. It was called grammar in those days. Grammar and grammatical studies is very well advanced in India. Panini did a descriptive grammar for Sanskrit.
Yes, Panini. Yes.
Hemachandra did a Prakrit grammar. Bhartrhari is very well known for his semantic studies.
Mhm.
So this, unfortunately, our younger people are not able to see. They are fascinated by the modern linguistics, but once they realize how well advanced our grammars were, they will certainly enjoy this. So I have
Yes.
been emphasizing this in our country. Grammarians were highly respected.
Yes. Very true.
They were counted as number one among the scholars. And for grammar is very necessary. Without grammar, you cannot understand any Shastra.
Yes.
And so much information is hidden in the Shastras. And you need to know Sanskrit also for that. So, as somebody was recently pointing out, our Indian history
Yes.
is written by those people who have no knowledge of Indian scriptures. They have written following the Western model. They say Vedic Vedic cloud is only 1200 years BC, 1500 BC,
I think it is very
like
older
that.
than that. It's older than that.
It is older than several centuries. For
Yes.
us, it has no beginning.
Yes.
But I'm not so strict about it. But what I would suggest is Indians have excelled in many areas. Many areas they have excelled in, and there is so much information available in these scriptures. In order to know this, students must know a little bit of Sanskrit.
Yeah.
Sanskrit must be included in the
Yes.
educational system
Yes. In
for
the
our
curriculum. Yes. I agree with.
generations so
Yes.
that they can make use of this.
Yes. The scriptures and shastras. Yes.
And the government also should realize that the linguist has a big role to play in their various language policies. They must have a linguist to advise them on the language policies in their language translation works. So
Yes.
without a well-trained linguist, it won't be possible to implement a good language policy. And unfortunately, again, the government is not realizing this.
Yes. I think we people, we Indians, we lack that.
Eh?
We lack these policies.
Yes,
Otherwise,
yes, yes, yes. Because
after
everything is politicized these days, and and pure academicians, it is not possible to enter
yes.
into that.
Yes, yes, yes. Very true. And what would you like to tell to our viewers about our scriptures? You said just now, you said the scriptures are, it is essential for life. Unless until they understand it, they can't make use of it.
So
And
I have myself worked on Panini and have written several papers. I
yes,
have worked on Prakrit. I have shown that these are the good things in their writings,
okay, okay, okay.
and it is now catching up. See, I not only taught in Usmania, I went to various universities where they invited me as a UGC visiting fellow, and I taught. I attended various international conferences. They also presented tapes, and
Okay,
and I gave linguistic institutes for
yes,
I attended and taught and refresher courses for the linguists who are already teaching.
okay, okay.
Yeah. So
Really,
this is
really.
some of
Okay. That's really wonderful. You are doing a very
yeah.
great job. And are
Yes,
there any scope for this Bhasha Vigyan or in this linguistic? If they take up PhD in linguistic, are there any scope? And it seems by talking to you, it seems there are quite a lot of things they can do it.
yes,
Yes. And what would you like to tell our viewers about your work
and
and
one more thing I want to say, which I
yes,
had forgotten. While doing post doctoral research, I was responsible for creating an electronic version of
okay.
Rigveda
Uh-huh.
and Shatabata Brahmana. From this work derive all online forms of the text. A copy of the original is now preserved in the Oxford Text Archive, and
Okay.
scholars all over the world are utilizing it in
Mhm.
their studies on Rigveda. And my metrics paper also was published in an international journal that was in a the Prakrit Reader is a very good introductory textbook for students to learn this dialect, and I have
Okay.
selected Halas Satasai 100 verses. I have given grammatical notes and translation,
Okay.
and also a grammar for the dialect in the beginning. It
Okay.
is
Okay.
being used in some American universities.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So
As
nice. Yeah.
several some 10 books published and more than 100 papers, both in Kannada, English,
And in San,
professional,
yes.
spiritual, all kinds of things I write.
And what are you working at present? You are writing
And,
some
and, and
tra-
in the latest Asiatic Society Arctic Memorial Lecture, I have pointed out that most of the linguistic concepts in the
yeah.
Western linguistics are already found
Mm-hmm.
in
Wow.
Indian sources of modern linguistics,
Yes.
and it is to be published from them
I
only.
think
So,
if you dig the scripture, it goes so deep, like an ocean. And you're working some literature, you're writing some literature work, it seems. What are you doing your work?
literature in sense like I have done several papers on Ramayana,
Uh-huh. Oh, really? Okay.
and since Ramayana and comparison of Tolkien and Panini, things like that.
Mhm. Okay, 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 okay.
Not
And
see, I haven't done literature in the sense that you think that like writing on Kalidasa or Meghdutta, things like that.
okay, okay, okay.
Mine was purely linguistic. I have taught Sanskrit as a language,
Yes.
but as literature, I did only for 5 years in the beginning at Maharajas College. But once I moved on to linguistics, it was mostly language and its analysis, not to do with the literature so much. The literature part is only now writing on Ramayana, Gita, things
Yes.
like that, and
Yes. Yes.
Vedanta.
Mm.
Like that. I
Yes.
have published a lot on that
Okay.
during these 10 years.
Okay. What will you tell our viewers about if they want to take up literature or if they want to take up more on Sanskrit scriptures? What is the scope for them? What
See, first
because
of all, see if they are getting trained in the educational system,
yes,
that would be fine. Otherwise, they will have to study Sanskrit separately.
yes,
Once
yes,
once they are exposed to Sanskrit language, then they
yes,
can study any scripture of their interest.
yes, scriptures and shastras and Upanishads, etc.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. Upanishads
Yes.
or the Puranas or
Yeah.
Itihasas or any Shastras like Tarka, Vyakarana, Mimamsa, for anything, a good knowledge of Sanskrit is necessary
Very true.
and
Correct.
grammar is necessary, and both
Yes.
must be studied.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
central universities in Sanskrit are giving these courses,
Okay.
Central University of Sanskrit.
I think they can make use of it. Yes. Sanskrit is
Yeah,
such a rich subject.
yeah.
It's a, yes. Yes.
See,
Really.
it can't be
True.
done in
Maybe,
1 day.
maybe we are people are modernizing and they are forgetting their culture and their roots from roots of India. Yes.
I
Yes.
have written I have written so many papers on Sanskrit.
Okay.
If you want, I will just give some titles.
Sure, we would love to hear it.
I have one on ancient Indian contribution to linguistic theory, method, and analysis.
Mm-hmm.
I have another on meter, as I said, basic metrical patterns in the poems of the Rig Veda.
Okay.
Sanskrit, politeness expressions in Sanskrit.
Mm-hmm.
Sanskrit as a language of wider communication. Word in Sanskrit. Treatment of lexical relations in Indian tradition. Sanskrit and linguistics. Change in phase of tense in Indo-Aryan. Modernization of Sanskrit. Spatial deixis in Old Indo-Aryan. Meaning of tenses and modes in Indian tradition. Gender in Indo-Aryan.
Okay.
Relative class in Indo-Aryan. Syllable in Sanskrit. Status of Sanskrit in post-independence India. Sanskrit as India's cultural language.
Okay.
Feminine formations in Panini's grammar. Karaka theory. Treatment of homonymy.
So many.
Bhatrahari and semantics and pragmatics.
So many.
Kota theory. Shikshas, a source book of phonetics. The
Quite a
national
lot.
language of multilingual India. Interface between historical linguistics and socio-linguistics. Sanskrit literary criticism and its impact on Kannada literary criticism.
Okay.
Like this is a
It's quite
long list.
a long list.
So,
Yes. Yes.
yeah.
If we keep talking to it, if I keep talking to you, you'll tell so many things, and I'm so
Oh, yes,
interested
yes.
to know more about it. But really, it's so wonderful to learn
It
know
will
so
be
many things.
it will be easier for me to interact with somebody as a normal discussion instead of a formal
Yes.
lecture. If it's a
Yes.
formal lecture, that's a different thing. I
Yes.
can do even earlier.
but
Uh,
but
is there anything else?
no,
Anything else?
no, you have told so many things about
Yeah.
Sanskrit and about Panini.
How are
It's
you? May I
it's
know how you are going to utilize this?
no, we will be broadcasting it in Facebook. It's going live on Facebook and on YouTube. Few viewers have commented on it. One person called Bharti Rao from Canada. She has written another scholar. Very nice, very nice. She's watching this program. So it is a live program. People are
Uh,
watching with Facebook as well as on YouTube.
yeah, but it would have been better if you asked point-wise questions and I answered
Yes,
instead of
I think
giving a lecture like this.
yes, one more session we will keep it since we want to talk, we want to get in touch with you and know more about it. So that's why this is the first session. We will get in touch with you again and with more information about your scriptures, about Sanskrit, about more about Panini because our culture, uh, our Indian culture and all scriptures is in all ancient scripture is in Sanskrit. So we want to know more about it. We will, I think,
Yeah.
we will have one more session about it, and It's really nice. It's almost 45 minutes that
Yeah.
you give so much of knowledge about whatever you are doing, and it's really wonderful talking with you. And dear viewers, if you have any more queries, please log on to, you can mail me on drsrilatha@gmail.com. We'll give you more information about Dr. H.S. Ananathanarayana, and as well as about this program. And I think this is a wonderful program. Today is a wonderful day that I spoke to you, and it's really it's a
Thank,
very informative, and I think it is a useful program. Thank you, sir.
thank you for the
Thanks a lot.
opportunity. Thank you
It's
for
an
the opportunity.
honor for us. Thank you, sir.
Okay.